In this video, we're going to talk about a special case when we are working with a circuit such as the one that is here. As we talked about it, we can apply the KCL or the KVL rule. The method is referred to as mesh current method, which is basically applying a KVL. And as if you recall, KVL, we have to identify how many meshes there are. In this particular case, there are one mesh here and there is a one mesh here. Mesh is a loop that does not include the loop, just as a reminder. So what we'll do here is first indicate the current that goes this way. For each mesh, we need to identify one current. So Y2, we typically have the current go clockwise, such as I've drawn on the circuit. Then we're going to go ahead and do the KVL for each loop. So we'll do a KVL for I1. And if you do that, as we go around the loop, we first encounter minus part of the power supply, so it's -2. And then since this is an outer branch, we have a current, and I1 is the only current through it, we'll have 100 times I1. And then when we get to 1K, we will write it as 1000. And notice how I'm converting everything to ohms, so there is no issue with the wrong units. And since we are in loop 1, it's going to be I1 minus I2 equal to 0. Now we have to write the KVL for the second mesh, which is I2. And when we try to do that, you might be tempted to go around the loop and write it, but one of the problems you have when you're trying to sum all the voltages across, you are not able to find, you don't know what the voltage is. You know the current is 1 amp, but you don't have the voltage. So you cannot write the mesh, but the fortunate thing is, since I2 is also the current that goes through this branch, I don't have to write the equation. I2 is simply equal to 0.01 amp, and that's it. So this is a gift. This is a special case where you have a current source in the outer branch. Now remember, this has to be an unshared branch. So if this current source was in here, you could not use this method. You got to go to the next special case, and we'll talk about what happens if the current source is in the middle. But if you got a current source in a unshared branch, that's a gift. That means you do not have to write the equation for that loop. In this particular case, we got both equations. We just clean it up, plug it into your calculator, and we move, or just plug I2 you have in here, solve it, and there you have your answer. So that's how you handle the current source in an unshared when you're trying to do a mesh current method.